Welcome to Amazing Cities Today, a public service of Amazing Cities, with your host, Jim Hunt. Jim is a top-selling author, a leading keynote speaker, and an authority on innovation and technology in local government. Welcome to Amazing Cities Today.
Hi, this is Jim Hunt, and welcome to the first episode of Amazing Cities Today. This is a project that I've been working on for a couple of years to ensure that we'd have a national footprint for the resources and the information that you're going to be hearing over this series of programs. This has been a long journey, but one that I'm excited to really begin into the actual implementation phase and provide information that hopefully will create amazing cities. When you look at who Amazing Cities Today is targeted, who's the audience for Amazing Cities Today? And that would include citizens of cities. It would include mayors, council members, city managers, city clerks, city staff, engineering, police, fire, all of the people who come together to hopefully create amazing cities. But also it's targeted to the business community and the Chamber of Commerce, economic development organizations, tourism groups, all of those people who are working side by side with communities that if they're not in partnership and working closely together, it's going to be a difficult task to become an amazing city. So that's the audience that is targeted. And in addition to that, anyone else who, much like I was as a young person, who was fascinated by city government and who understands that government that's closest to the people is the government that governs best. And I think when we see a lot of the dysfunction on the national and statewide level, it is something to recognize that when the garbage is picked up, when the potholes are filled, when the parks open on time and the swimming pools are for the enjoyment of our kids in the summer, we realize there's a lot of people in local government who provides that stability and quality of life for our citizens. So when we talk about Amazing Cities Today, what is it? And it's a program that'll run about 15 minutes. So it's something that you'll hopefully get a lot of content, but you don't have to spend all evening watching. The other thing about it is that it's hosted on YouTube and will be linked in various ways so that hopefully many people will be able to watch it. It'll also be available on your community access television. So if you feel that the information on Amazing Cities Today are some things that you'd like to see in your community, or some ideas or innovative thoughts and things that are happening across the country, if you think that might be of interest in your community, feel free, and you'll be able to email Amazing Cities. I'll put the links on the video, and you'll be able to see, hopefully in your community, to gain that knowledge and resources and see kind of the depth and breadth of local government all across the country. It's going to be a weekly program, but I'm going to be doing a lot of special interviews. They'll be periodic, and you'll see those, and they'll all be archived so that any content that Amazing Cities Today produces will be on the YouTube channel, and you'll be able to see all of it there and kind of pick and choose what you'd like to see, or share it with a colleague or things of that sort. So that's kind of the broad definition or description of Amazing Cities Today. Now, understand this technology, 15 years ago, it would be impossible to do a program like this. And I'm so thankful, and one of the things with technology is I know sometimes it drives us crazy. It really, every week there's something else happening, and that you just think technology is just not something that I want to delve into. But I have to tell you, from somebody who as a professional speaker and an author, and I travel around the country, technology has opened doors for me It has done some things in my business that I would have never been able to do without the internet, without a lot of the different technologies that have come available. And what you're seeing today is the Amazing Cities Today program that, it's not that long ago that there was just a handful of alternatives to the network television and sporting events. So now we have the ability to what they call narrowcast, and that is for people that have a specific interest and people that are kind of joined by some shared experiences, that they're able to have content delivered to them that might not everyone would be interested necessarily in the content. Well, let me tell you just a little bit about myself, and not to be bragging, but just want to give you a description of where I come from and some of the, I think some of the things that are going to make this program very special. As I mentioned, I've been in local government for most of my adult life. I started out in local government in my community by being appointed to the parking authority. And, the typical thing, there was, I think, about 6 or 7 members of the parking authority. We met once a month. We did on projects involving parking and on-street parking meters, and learned, probably more than you'd want to know about parking. But it really interested me into local government and how things were connected and how you could have an impact in local government. So I ran for city council and was elected in 1985. Served 27 and a half years on my local council, served as mayor, and had a unbelievably interesting career. A lot of things happened during those 27 and a half years, and just made my life just a blessing. So during that period, all along the way, one of the resources that I always reached out to was the West Virginia Municipal League. And the Municipal League, for those who may not know, the Municipal Leagues exist in all of the states. They're an organization that supports local government. They lobby, and generally their offices are located, I think almost all of them are located in the state capitals. They lobby for legislation that is happening on a statewide level and have a huge impact, because what they can do by being located in the state capitol and being put full-time their efforts on legislation and things of that sort, no city official really has the time and sometimes the expertise to be able to be effective. But the state municipal leagues do a fantastic job in that role. But they also hold conferences and educational sessions and are able to interact. And if you have a question as a city official, and many times even as a citizen or the media, you can call and access that information from the State Municipal League. But I served as president of the West Virginia Municipal League, and out of that I started getting interested in the National League of Cities. And the National League of Cities, once again, is a national organization that lobbies Congress and holds conferences, seminars. They do a lot of work out in the cities. They are taking a leading role on the opioid crisis in America. And so as the National League of Cities, and I was just this small town guy that was going to these meetings with thousands of attendees, and served on different committees. I was a member of the Leadership Training Council for the National League of Cities. And after a few years, in 2005, I was the only West Virginian and really someone from one of the smallest cities that had ever served as president of the National League of Cities. So with that experience, it kind of elevated me again, and you kind of keep thinking, where would you go? And I was then on the World Council of the United Cities and Local Governments, which is an international organization focused on local government. That organization introduced me to people from all over the world, and I had the huge opportunity of being able to travel to places, Jeju Island in South Korea, the People's Republic of China in Beijing and Shanghai, Brussels, Belgium, Istanbul, Turkey, Marrakesh, Morocco, all over the world and just had unbelievable experiences and learning opportunities. So that's a little bit about me. And so then I decided, after my career as an elected official was over, I went to work for a community revitalization, neighborhood revitalization organization, and served as executive director there for 5 years. I worked for our state housing finance agency in West Virginia. So I have a broad amount of experience. Probably it was, like some people would say, expert at none, but knowledge of all. But that led me into the direction of working on behalf of local governments. I've written 2 books. My first book was co-authored with my good friend Mike Condiff, a city manager, former city manager that lives in Denton, Texas, and a member, past member of the International City Management Association Board of Directors. Mike and I wrote Bottom Line Green, How America's Cities Are Saving the Planet and Money Too. And then I started working on another book called The Amazing City, 7 Steps to Creating an Amazing City. And that's going to be a big focus on what we're going to be doing in the first few episodes of Amazing Cities Today. So I hope you'll keep tuning in. We're going to interview some absolutely superstars in the local government arena. They're going to be from as diverse as Chicago and Los Angeles and Miami, Florida, down to smaller communities in Bluffton, Indiana, and just Logan, West Virginia. So this is going to be exciting. I think you're going to learn a lot. You're going to have one of my all-time favorite people is Doug Eccles, the former mayor of Rock Hill, South Carolina. And we're going to talk about Rock Hill's unbelievable turnaround from a community that just not that many years ago, the textile industry had left, and Doug as mayor and his council and manager and the entire city staff put a plan together to revitalize and remake and reinvent Rock Hill, South Carolina. And they've done a fantastic job, and we're going to focus in on Rock Hill and speak with Doug in one of the future episodes of Amazing Cities Today. So this is a labor of love. I think you're going to find that there'll be some just ideas that you can take right after the program and put them into action. If you're a citizen, it's also going to be an opportunity to learn kind of the behind the scenes of what's the effective way to advocate on behalf of your issues in local government. And I'm going to go over some ideas and thoughts that I think you'll find interesting. And I'm always welcome to get your comments and feedback, because I think that's how I've learned over the years is learning from others, and hopefully Amazing Cities Today will be better because of your contributions. Now, I'd love for you to subscribe. When you see on the YouTube, click the subscribe button, and that will access for you not a whole bunch of emails or junk, but it'll bring to you the episodes of Amazing Cities Today. So I'm excited. I think this first episode was everything I thought it could be, and I'm hopeful that it'll be a long-term success, and we'll be able to bring value and create amazing cities in your town. So don't forget, this is Amazing Cities Today. It's been my honor to introduce to you this new venture on episode 1. Thanks very much.
This has been Amazing Cities Today, a public service of Amazing Cities.